At a young age, I realized that I could surf into my 80s. And I take a lot of inspiration from that by watching older surfers in the water. When you're in your teens and your 20s, you don't think anybody old can really achieve anything, especially athletic-wise. So you think that you're limited to just surfing when you're younger. But once I realized that people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s are out there surfing, I knew that I could surf for the rest of my life. And so it's always been a quest of mine to surf till I'm 80, and I always have used older surfers as role models. So I watched this video the other night, and it was called Seniors Push Athleticism to the Limits, okay? And I put the link in the description below if you want to see the video. I highly recommend it. You will be so inspired. And what it is, it's about seniors who run these track events. And you got them in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Yes, you've got 90-year-olds running and competing, and it highlights them in this video. And it's called Seniors Push Athleticism to the Limits. So once I started thinking about how older surfers have inspired me to stay healthy and active so that I can surf till I'm 80, and that's the whole reason why Meyochi came about, was so I could stay active. I figured that maybe you could take some inspiration from these 90-year-old runners that are competing in track meets. Use them for inspiration as well. So the first one in the video is Dottie Gray. She's 91 years old, and she competes in about 50 track meets a year. And her mantra is, keep moving and you're never too old to start. She is also some world record holders in some of her track meets. Then there's Orville Rogers, who is 98 years old. He didn't start running until he was in his 50s. And now he is out in these track meets at 98 years old, okay? Running miles and 400-yard dashes and stuff like that. And he is a record holder as the only person who in his 90s ran a 10-minute mile under a 10-minute mile. And then he holds another record where he has run a 15-minute mile. He's the only person who's 95 years or older that has run an under 15-minute mile. So I want you to think about this for a second. This is a 90-year-old running miles, okay? Running a mile under 15 minutes at over 95 years old. That is so inspiring. And he is just amazing to watch. And what's his mantra? Determination to hang in there and keep going and never give up. And then there's Dixon Hemphill, who's 91 years old. He races against Orville, and they're out there running around the track, and usually it's just those two that are racing because they're in the 90 and over group. And so you have these two 90-year-olds racing around the track, and the entire crowd just goes crazy for them and just watches them run around. And when you see it, you are just so inspired. So what Dixon did was he had a VO2 max test done. And what a VO2 max test is it determines your aerobic endurance and your cardiovascular fitness. Age 91, he had the test done, and he ended up scoring better than people 30 years younger than him. By remaining active, he has kept his body healthy. And with over 2 decades of research about aging, they have realized that if you remain active, your rate of decline is much slower. You age much slower if you stay active. And Orville is a classic example of this. He got the endurance of someone 30 years younger than him because he stays active and he runs. And that's what I'm trying to let everybody know today. If you want to cheat death, stay active. Do my 4 pillars of Meyochi, which is flexibility, proper nutrition, stress reduction, and exercise of any kind. and I'm going to be out here with you. And we're going to do this Meyochi for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and we're going to do it together. And we're all going to cheat death. And when we're in our 90s, we're going to feel healthier and happier, and our minds are going to be cleaner and brighter. So, what's the take out of this whole thing? It's never too late to start. If you're 70 and you don't know what to do, just walk out the door and start walking. And each day you'll get a little stronger and a little stronger, and you can become more active. It's never too late to start. If you're thinking about when's a good time, now is a good time to start. Are these three people that I was talking about, are they extraordinary? I don't really think so. I think what they've done is they have just remained active for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, okay? And what happens over that long time period of time? The turtle wins the race, right? That was one of my previous videos as well. It's a steady, daily routine of remaining active. And when you do that for a 30, 40, 50 year time span, your body has adjusted and you slow your rate of decline of aging, and you just feel better. We can all be inspired by those three examples that I had just given you. They are all superstar athletes in their own right, and we should take inspiration in them. And these are they are our role models. Orville and Dixon and Dottie, they should be our role models of staying active for the rest of our lives. And this is who we want to aspire to. We want to aspire to be like them. And I want to surf till I'm 80 years old. And when I look at them, if they can run track meets, Dottie, Orville, and Dixon, if they can run track meets, then I can stay active and surf till I'm 80. And you can stay active and surf till you're 80 and beyond. Or not surf, but walk or just stay active in your 80s and your 90s. So let's do this together. Let's do Meyochi together for the next 20, 30, 40 years. I'll be here with you, and you can join in, and we're going to have a much healthier, happier lifestyle. And don't forget to watch the video. It may actually change your life. So, let's talk about my 4 pillars of Meyochi that we're going to do for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And and that is flexibility, proper nutrition, stress reduction, and exercise of any kind. You do my 4 pillars, and your quality of life is going to improve dramatically. Now I'm back on the beach. COVID-19, the ban is over. I'm back on the beach. A little bit of waves out there today. Not the greatest, but I'm just happy to be going out in the ocean. So I see you.